Alright, crew, it's Pitt, and we're back with another Cogdat Determination. Today we are going to be dealing with Tom McDonald. I love Tom's message, I love Tom's music. It's going to be hard for me to do reactions to Tom, full disclosure. I've listened to most of his newer stuff. I haven't listened to all of the older stuff, but I've listened to most of the newer stuff. I'm still going to react to him. I'm going to try and get him in the rotation as soon as possible. When he drops a new one, I'm on it. But until then, we're going to get him in it because the message has to get out there, even if I've already seen it probably too many times. I've watched the reactions. I've watched him, the songs, I've watched the reactions, and now I'm going to do mine. So be aware that when I do the reactions, it's not going to be a first view reaction. That being said, drop me some comments down below. Let me know what you want to know. Tell me who to type. Tell me who to react to. This is the kind of information that I'm looking for. We're going to go ahead and transition over to the Tom McDonald. This is the Simba TV interview. Simba's another reactor. Check out his channel. The link will be below. And let's see what we got.
Series of questions that I asked him. First question is, so you're originally from Canada, correct?
Yeah.
So tell the people how you started here in LA. How did you get here in Hollywood?
Yeah, so like we talked about it earlier, like
All right, already the hands are in it.
essentially was in Canada for a long time. Music scene out there is like super small. So I started off in a place called Edmonton, Alberta, which is sort of like in the prairies in Canada, and I just felt like I just wanted to be someplace bigger, and I had just like bigger goals, and I felt.
Okay, he's having a hard time figuring out what he wants to say here. That is not organized ideas. So that would be what would be the opposite of organized ideas? Organized things, I guess. We're going to see how he does with organized things, but not remembering what he wants to talk about. Like that leads me towards not organized ideas.
Felt like I could achieve in like that town and stuff. So
Yeah.
I went from Edmonton to Vancouver, and again.
Okay, listing the cities, that's going to be organized things.
And like I just had aspirations for more, and it's not like that I outgrew the scene from a popularity standpoint or anything like that, but just like mentally,
Yeah.
I was like outgrowing. Even though I hadn't reached my full potential in that place,
Yeah.
I was like already like 10 years ahead of my own ability.
I totally understand.
Head.
Yeah.
You know, it's like putting like a plant in a terrarium or something. It'll only grow like as big as that terrarium.
Yes.
And then you
Yes.
move it out and it expands further. So like my whole thing was just like, even though I wasn't there yet with my popularity and my skill set and stuff like that, I just knew that like in order to realize my potential and in order to like sort of cultivate my skills and hone in my abilities, I had to like go to a place that wasn't a terrarium, that just allowed me to expand further.
Yeah.
So
I had to get some new experiences in there, basically. He was feeling limited by his experiences. So he went beyond his normal. That is very much gather ideas. Well, I don't know, that could be gather things too. We'll see how it goes.
so I went on a tour through Europe like a few times, which was like super cool. Always like thought I might find some place out there that felt like home, whether it was London or Paris or Amsterdam or whatever.
Listing the cities again, organizing things.
And I found some like really cool places out there that I love, but I just didn't catch the vibe, man. And then I came out to LA. I was here for 6 months. I just fell in love with it.
LA lifestyle, man.
That's it. Went back to Canada
I appreciate the experiences here.
for a bit, and I was back and forth for like a few years until I just decided like, yo, okay, like I'm gonna go California full time. So
Cool.
yeah.
Okay, so let's dive into your music here. So your music, in my personal opinion, is one of the best music that I heard recently come out.
Like, look, He's getting amused because he knows what's coming.
Of this new generation of rappers.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, you're very welcome. That means
That's tribe friendly. Like, there's been a lot of me in this, but it's focused on him. This is this interview about his music. Even still, like, he said me a lot, but he's not overwhelmed me with the me. And that was a very tribe friendly exchange. He didn't have to say thank you there. It wasn't expected, but he did it anyway. That's tribe friendly.
honestly, and I don't say that about a lot of people, and I mean that 100%. When it started taking off, was it White Boy that like started like to actually like where it started catching fire and people was like, oh man, this Tom McDonald dude, you know, is that where it started? Was it White Boy itself?
A lot of people think that, but like it was actually like maybe like 2 videos before that. It was Dear Rappers was like the first one.
I seen that one on Facebook.
Yeah. And then it was Halibut, and then it was White Boy.
Okay.
So, White Boy.
Again, listing the things. We're getting a lot of things from Tom. That's definitely things. And organize the things. He's listing the cities. He's listing the experiences, and it's very. He's very movement. We don't have a lot of tribe self yet. We do have movement. We don't have informative markers yet, so that leads me towards direct. Now his outward persona, his self performing is informative, but that does not necessarily mean that he's direct or that he's informative as a person. Let's see where we get.
Like was the first one that caused like a largely like negative reaction. It was like the first, like I'd already broken like 1 million views on like a few different videos. Like,
so you had like a fan base at that point, but White Boy kind of like brought in the new people to be like, okay, this is this dude.
Yeah, it was like Dear Rappers and Halibut, that was like 1-2 million views, and then White Boy hit Facebook and like it traveled certain channels, and that turned into like it's now at like 35 million.
Yeah, it's doing numbers. Yeah,
so it's like it was a big difference. So yeah, a lot of people did find me from White Boy, but like everything really changed at Dear Rappers and Halibut.
Okay, so. That's dope, man. White Boy hits the scene, man, and you start getting weird people. Like people start taking your words and flipping them and you know taking them out of what they originally.
Right now, right here, he's not giving off a lot of movement. Like this is a very he's settled in. He's in his flow state now, and he's not doing a lot of movement. The biting on the finger is an odd one. I'm trying to figure out where that would place. I would think that would actually be more of a control thing. Like, take control of the situation, take control of myself. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm feeling off of that. We'll see how he does more in this flow state. Hopefully, now that he's settled in, we're 5 minutes into the video, he's well into his comfort zone. He knows this is not antagonistic, so he's feeling very tribe friendly right now. We'll see if we can get some indicators.
How does that feel? Like you're sitting there, you're this rapper that's coming up, you're finally getting your name out there, and it's kind of negative. How does that, like, what do you do at that point? Like, what did you do? Like, how did you handle it? Because I would have freaked out, dude. I would have just started snapping at people.
Well, I mean, ultimately, I ended up doing that with, like, records like This House and shit like that. But
that was like a...
I did give that experience.
Classy, like, slap, though. Yeah. Like, that was a class. I'll talk about, like, I'm out here on, like, Twitter, like, cussing people out.
Yeah. Honestly, like, it's very hard to imagine, like, what being in that position is like unless you were actually in that position. And, like, I didn't have the option to just, like, come out swinging on Twitter. Because it was such a massive influx of people coming at me that, like...
All of the racists came out of the woodwork. Whenever when he dropped White Boy, all the racists jumped out. And you can tell who the racists are. If your feelings got hurt by white boy, you're the racist.
You'll spend hours.
You would spend like 16-hour days for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
In order to like respond to all that stuff.
Then that's a list of things. 16-hour days. Like we're definitely getting organized things from him. He definitely getting that. Self and tribes a little bit. It's hard to place for this. And movement. Like I'm definitely leaning more towards control now that he's in the flow state. He is not as engaged physically. He's very relaxed. He's sitting back. His hands are still in it, but it's not a constant thing. His body's not shifting, and he's not interrupting. He's allowing the question to come all the way. He's not trying to jump in as soon as the question's done. That's a very direct. He's also telling the story. He's telling the full story and not elaborating.
And like, there was like some bigger people, like way bigger people than me that were tweeting at me and stuff. So
really, wow, that is crazy.
Oh yeah, dude. So it was just like, it was the first time in my life anything like that had ever happened. Yeah, it was like super frustrating that like, because I know what my intentions were, bro. Like I know who I am. I know what I wrote. I know why I wrote it.
Yes.
And I know what I meant by the things that I said. And like, you know, there was like a lot of people that flat out were like, oh, this guy's a racist. This guy's like whatever. Like he's ignorant. He's like insensitive. Like whatever. Okay, like racist? No.
Yeah.
Like ignorant? Who isn't at some point in their life? Insensitive? Sure. Like. I'm not gonna hold you, bro.
Yeah. You know? No, I told you I'm the same way.
Very much organized things. He's listening to things off. I'm getting kind of a tribe vibe because he's so agitated by the pushback from the tribe. He's like, I don't understand why y'all think this is offensive. I'm just speaking the truth.
I'm very blunt. I'm gonna tell you how it is. And I feel like you're very like that in your music, but you can also switch it up in a way where it's like you can be this person where it's like super sensitive and you can say what you need to say in a different type of tone. It's just that people nowadays just take everything so wrong, man, and it's crazy because, which is why I wanted to sit down with you and really conversate with you, because now it's to the point where you say anything.
Yeah.
People are like, man, fuck this guy. Like, you can be like, dude, I love that.
He's moved past the point of needing any tribe validation, but he's still very much tribe. This right here, like, I don't know the story behind this. There's been several people who said that the hog meant homosexual things. Whatever. Tom doesn't come off that way. But Hangover Gang's his people, and he's all about his people. So,
fuck you, I love AEW.
Yeah.
Like,
which is it's fine, man. It's like it's a lot of fun, to be honest. And like, I don't know. A lot of people have like the white boy record twisted. They're like, oh, this guy like wrote a song on behalf of like white people who feel like they're oppressed or something, and like. It's like not that to me. Like if that's the way that you're like taking it, then like I think that says more about like the way that you feel about shit than I do, because like I didn't have any like burning desire in me to write a song about like the plight of the white man. Like I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like I don't care. Like that song's not for white people. That song is for me, and I happen to be like
a white male
person.
Yeah.
So like.
Okay, so that is very self-oriented right there.
To me, it was like.
And the hands are back in it.
When I dropped Dear Rappers and I dropped Hella Bit, like a lot of people were like, yo, like this guy's attacking black rappers in his music and da-da-da-da-da, because I was talking shit about mumble rap and mainstream hip-hop and the content of the music and da-da-da-da-da. And like my whole thing was like, yo, like I would never attack a rapper for being of like a particular color. Like what I did do was attack rappers of a particular content, and like just because like a bunch of those rappers are black doesn't mean I'm attacking black rappers. That's an insane conclusion to come to. So it was like, and that's why I wrote White Boy, because after whatever it was, 3 or 4 months, and like tens of thousands of pieces of hate mail saying that like you're attacking black rappers and you're this and you're that and da 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 da. I was like,
That's direct. He did. Just because you say a lot doesn't mean you're informative. He just said a lot right there, but it wasn't necessarily repeating information. He got the question in a second way, so he wanted to make sure that he was clear on his point with it. And he did. He was very direct with that. He seems to be somewhat controlled. And I'm still having some trouble with the self-tribe. Honestly, it seems more self to me right now.
you know, like I was like, okay, like you really think that's the way it is? Like,
Yeah.
Like you know, so
be it.
So after all the like the I never had any inkling like or desire to talk about race, period. But then after everybody started making it about that, yo, you're attacking black rappers, this, that, and the other. I was like, okay, cool. Like if this is what y'all want to talk about for forever.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, that's tribe unfriendly, which leads me towards self again. I think we're going to be all right to go ahead. It seems quite controlled. I know that his hands are into it, and that plays a lot into it. But his pushback on concepts leans me more towards control. When he was in his calm state, he was very controlled. Here, he's more defensive. He doesn't like it's for him. What he's doing is for him to help him do things, and he's agitated that the tribe did not take it well. So we're going to go ahead and we'll do the transition, and we're going to go ahead. He is things organized. He is self-control direct, and that is going to give us an ISTJ. Now, everybody wants to say, oh, he can't be an introvert because he talks, or he can't be an introvert because he's very outspoken. ISTJ means that he uses the information, the sensory, for himself. That's all. It just means that he prioritizes his own stuff first. That doesn't mean that he's selfish. It doesn't mean that, none of that. It means that he uses the information for him and then he gives it away. E's do the opposite. They use the information for everybody else, then themselves. SI Hero is going to filter the worldview through duty. The strength is the ability to see the job done. He grinds. When I say Tom grinds, Tom is on the grind. He is putting out videos. He is putting out music. He is putting out shorts. He's on TikTok. He's on Instagram. He's putting in the work. That's his duty, and he's doing it. TE, he feels responsible for making sure the tribe knows the rationale. The streets demanding proof. Does this work for everyone? Now, I don't have specific examples of quote the expert, which TE is a quote the expert, Dr. So-and-so at the university. But he is very much, does this work for everyone? But he does it in a very in-your-face way. He's like, how do you idiots not see what's going on? And he calls out both sides of everything the whole time. FI child, he's going to feel defensive over the way he feels. He feels that everybody is stupid. He feels that everybody's being buttholes. He feels like everybody's a snowflake. So he's very defensive over that. He's very in your face, telling everyone, like, y'all are all saying this stupid shit. That's what he's saying. Any inferior is going to think he's great at knowing the possibilities, but actually misunderstand them or invert them. I've really got to fix that. Turn no weakness into a strength by learning the tribe's possibilities. Tom has some substance abuse issues in his past. That's probably why. Misunderstanding people's intentions is a good way to get into the dumps. SE Nemesis, the challenge is going to lie in dealing with the tribe's physics, how to physically actually do the things. It's going to be susceptible to manipulation by distraction. Well, what if we did that? What if we did that? What if we did that? SE is the physical things. TI critic is going to have a hard time organizing their own thoughts. They second and third guess any thought that deviates, however slightly, from the norm. That is the norm that he has decided on. He has decided that people are buttholes, and he's trying to make them diverge from that with his FI child, but his TI critic is like, what if I'm really wrong? And that's why he gets so defensive. You'll see him come on defending himself and talking about the haters. Probably, well, I mean, he's feeding the algorithm, but it's probably a little more than he probably needs to. FE Trickster is going to be unaware of other people's values. They have a harder time learning to feel guilt or care for others. They form covert contracts. Covert contracts are when you say, I'm going to do this, and you're going to owe me, but I'm not going to tell you that you owe me. You should know that. That is the FE Trickster. It does appear elsewhere, but that is FE Trickster. Needs to work on being forthright with clear expectations. He has been working on being forthright. You can see the progression in his life through his videos over time. And he's learning, like, it's not that he doesn't feel guilt at all, but he doesn't feel guilty. What he's doing needs to be done. He has decided that he feels everyone needs to hear the reason we do it the way we do it. Why are y'all being dumb? NI demon is undermining yourself by not trusting your own willpower. You can't seem to find how do I stand for me, and you need to understand why you're dutiful. You probably will find instances in his life where he has been loyal to the wrong people. He has NI demoned, decided that these people are the right ones, but they are not the right ones at all. Making bad choices, doing the wrong thing, and not trusting your own willpower is thinking I'm doing the wrong thing all the time and then not doing anything about it. He is definitely working on his NI demon through the grind, doing the actual sensory and getting the ideas organized and out there. The way that he deals with his stuff is through organizing and then giving it to everyone else through his TE parent, making sure that everyone knows that this should be the best thing. This is why this is the best thing. Everybody should agree that this is the best thing. That's going to about wrap it up with Mr. Tom. I'm a fan. I am definitely with the Hog Gang. HOGG. Hangover Gang Gang. I love the Gang Gang. Like, share, and subscribe. Do your thing. Drop in the conversation down below. The conversation is the most important thing. It feeds the algorithm, but it lets me know that what you want to see. Help me to help you. We are here to help mental health. We're here to help people understand themselves better. And the only way to do that is through examples. And I would love to give you examples of what you want to see. I'm giving you examples of what I want to see, of who I want to see typed. The people that I'm doing are people that I like. We will be getting into Tom's music, and now we have a type. That's about going to wrap it up for today, people. Thank you so much for joining us, and this has been Pitt's Take. Peace.